What is up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kira, aka Queera, and this is Ask Queera, where I give you queer advice, and that's pretty much it. Today we're gonna be talking about sex, baby, yeah. I got you on Instagram to send me in questions, any questions that you had about WLW and queer sex. And today I have joined on my channel the lovely Georgia Bridgers. Hello, Georgia.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Georgia.
So happy to have you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
It's good to be back with you, with my
the reunion episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Last time we were together, we were fucked up.
Fucked. Ooh. Are you doing shots?
Yes.
Should I do shots?
Yes. Oh, I hate tequila.
What was the question?
What turns you off?
What turns you off?
You're drunk.
Oh my god, that was a fun video.
That was really fun.
Yes. If you have not seen that, by the way, I will link it below, and I will also link below all of Georgia's links and all of the videos we've done together. Thinking that my DoorDasher might be here. Let me just grab it.
Cool, I'll be here. I'll entertain. Hey everyone. Yeah, that's right. I'm back. You probably weren't expecting it, but I like to keep you all on your toes.
Let's start with the questions. Did I say everything I needed to say?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe just for background, I am bisexual and
Pronouns. And yes.
And pronouns, and my pronouns are she, her. And I have been in a almost 4-year relationship with my girlfriend.
Holy shit, 4 years almost.
August will be 4 years.
Oh, yay.
Where does the time go?
If you don't know me, if this is your first video that you're seeing of mine, I am queer, I am gender fluid, my pronouns are they, she, and I have been in a committed relationship with my partner for 3 years. Almost, wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's been 3 years.
But it feels like longer, so like it feels weird when I say that. Yes, we are married.
My first marriage that I have created.
You created the marriage, yeah.
I created it.
You did.
Your guys' love, nah. Me, yeah.
Georgia created our love.
I did. I was just mixing it up in a little pot.
Yes. So let's get into the questions, shall we? I feel like this is a good kickoff question just because it's like the number one most important thing in sexual relationships. How can I be more confident and vocal about my needs with my partner?
Get drunk. I'm kidding.
No, but actually, you know what?
That is kind of like when I first entered my sexual situation, we had some wine. It's just loosens up a little bit. You can get the foundation there, but also if you don't drink or if you're underage.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, you want to be able to do that when you're sober too. But I think that does come with time and like comfortability with the person that you're with. Like,
yes,
the more conversations you have, the easier it becomes to open up about those kinds of things. I've found
talking about it when you're not having sex.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like the preemptive.
Yeah.
Or not even like right before, like just in your day to day.
Yeah.
I know it's scary, but if your partner is committed to you and if you are committed to your partner and you want that relationship to blossom, like these conversations need to happen.
It doesn't have to be like a huge, really intense conversation. It can just be like, hey, these are the things that I really value in sexual relationships. These are my boundaries. These are the things that I want to do. These things I don't want to do. And then encourage that person to also open up because it needs to be the communication needs to be a two-way street.
And if someone makes you feel shitty for like wanting to communicate about that,
that's a red flag.
Huge red flag.
This is actually a really good question, and I feel like people don't talk about this enough. As the relationship develops, is it normal to have less sex?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes. So I think it definitely depends on the relationship.
Yeah.
And how important sex is in that specific relationship. But there's a lot of other ways that you can be intimate or connect with your partner than just sex. And maybe at the beginning, sex is more important, or maybe it's just more, it happens more because, you know, it's new and there's more adrenaline involved. And I think that that's normal. Have you heard of lesbian bed death?
No, what is that?
It's just like this stupid thing where people are like, when lesbians are in like really long-term relationships, they just stop having sex. And like, I think that is so stupid. And I think that creates a lot of unnecessary fear in like WLW relationships.
Something that's so huge that not just in sex, but in life in general is that everything ebbs and flows. And it depends on like if the mental health of one partner, or like it depends on you and the relationship. There is the stigma of like, if you're not having sex, like your relationship sucks or you don't have that connection. Like sex is not the basis of my relationship.
Oh, and it should
is not. Yeah, it's not the most important thing in my relationship. I know there are very sexual beings who are like that. It has to be at the top of the list. But like, also just like trust and being able to have a good time together, doing this, that, and the other. You cannot be comparing your very personal life to someone else's because you're not the same.
And there isn't a specific amount that is like the standard of having sex every week. Like I feel like there's a lot of pressure in the media and stuff like that to be having sex at least, you know, 3 times a week or once a week or whatever it may be. But it's like, whatever is satisfying you and your partner's needs, that is how often you should be having sex.
Yes. If you are feeling unfulfilled, then have the conversation.
Any advice on not feeling like a failure if you can't come or you can't get your girlfriend to come? I always say this in every sex video, but like sex isn't just about coming. It's about the journey. And if you think of it like, oh, I'm just doing all these things to get to the climax, then you're not going to be enjoying that. You're not going to be enjoying the whole thing.
Yes. Because you're just like, oh, I need to orgasm. Like it has to happen. Or I need to make my partner orgasm. Yeah. But it's such a deeper connection. I like that, Kira.
Yeah. I think people put a lot of pressure on themselves to be like, oh, I really hope I can come, or I really hope I can make my partner come. But if you're in your head like that, you're not present in the moment of sex, and you're not enjoying the sex, and you're not getting the most out of the sex that you can.
Oh my God, tea.
That was fucking tea.
I love that. I love that. And you know what? It happens. It is normal. When I've had a little too much to drink, I'm not necessarily taking the O train that night, but like
you can still have a great sexual experience and not reach orgasm.
Yeah.
So hopefully that makes you feel a bit better. And communicate, like you said, like if there's something that would help you come.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, don't be afraid to like use toys or something like that. If you're, I don't know, if you struggle to orgasm, it doesn't, there's so many things under the sun.
Just talk about it openly. This is a good one. How to work on feeling comfortable when struggling with body image issues. So comfortable, you know, probably getting naked and feeling vulnerable when you're having sex.
You can take it slowly. You don't have to be buck naked from the get-go.
True.
You know, like you can leave a top on, leave a bra on, having a quickie, leave a sweatshirt on, you know, like I feel like the longer you are with a person, you become more comfortable, like being your most vulnerable self with that person. So I guess just allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and again, communicating with your partner, like, hey, I'm self-conscious about my stomach or the stretch marks on my butt, this, that, and the other. But it's such a huge help when you do that inner work to love yourself, to then be more comfortable and having everyone love yourself. That's not to say, I fucking hate that stereotype that's like, you can't love someone else unless you love you. I think that's bullshit. And I think that's like just saying that like people who struggle with depression and anxiety like don't deserve love.
Yeah, I think there's truth to it in some ways, but like you can still have a really good and healthy relationship, you know, if you're on your self-love journey and you're not quite there yet. I think very rarely people are at the epitome of self-love. Like even me, who's done so much fucking work on myself and like my mental health and my mindset, like I'm still not there.
Yeah.
And I probably won't ever be there unless I'm Jesus.
Because it ebbs and flows, you know?
Something you could do is like, you don't always have to have sex like with the lights on. You can do it in like a darker room, candlelit, maybe. That might be romantic. And also just think about it this way. We're always our own worst critic of ourselves. And like, we're always going to pick out those little things on our body that like we don't like, but more often than not, like your partner is not going to be doing that. Like they're not
probably like, fuck yeah, I'm having sex right now. Woo, you know?
Advice for self-pleasure tips, especially if you don't have access to toys.
Your bathtub faucet.
I was going to say the same thing. That was like my first very intense orgasm, was like literally in the
That was my first orgasm.
Oh yeah.
But also, what if they only have a shower?
Well, it'd be good if they had like a shower that you can hold.
Detaches, yeah.
That's one way.
If you gotta go with the old Mrs. 5 over here, don't put a time pressure on yourself. Mess around. See what excites you, what works.
Yeah.
I know it's nerve-wracking, but like no one has to know what you're doing. So no one's gonna judge you. Like the only person judging yourself is you.
Yeah.
And it's probably because you feel like embarrassed, but like think about it this way. If no one else is gonna find out, how are you gonna be embarrassed?
Yeah. Yeah. And make sure maybe like no one is home.
Yes.
Or, you know,
make sure the door is locked.
But make sure the door is locked so that, because if you're anxious, it's not gonna work. Like
no.
Close the blinds, make sure there's no like distractions or anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to watch something, I probably just started watching like girls kissing, or like maybe not even fully porn, but just like maybe a spicy scene in a movie.
Yeah, or books.
Oh yes, fan fictions, if you guys read those.
Yes.
Those are great. What you said was great about just kind of exploring and seeing what you like and what you don't like, and what you like, keep doing that, and what you don't like, stop doing that.
Stop doing it. Oh, and also not everyone comes from penetration. So get that out of your head that you have to have some kind of experience there, because you don't, if you don't want to.
No, you don't have to stick your fingers inside of you.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
You don't gotta take the O train. This is embarrassing. Whatever. Why can't I just say it? Orgasm. I'm sorry, Jesus.
Jesus wants you to say orgasm. Jesus wants us to talk about these things. No, seriously.
You're right.
Because Jesus doesn't have to be what Catholicism teaches us. Jesus can live in all of us. Jesus is energy. We all have that energy, okay? We all have the potential to be Jesus.
Yes, we do.
God damn it. How to overcome the idea that sex is dirty and the word lesbian being seen as a sexual word.
Oh, fuck. We can thank the porn industry for that.
One thing I feel like that has helped me is honestly YouTube and watching videos like this and having open conversations with your friends about sex and destigmatizing sex.
And I think having sex with someone that you love, having that kind of connection for me personally has like shown that like, you know, you're not supposed to be on your hands and knees with your hands tied behind you and 50 Shades of Grey. Now, while of course that can be fun,
right? It's
a personal experience, and recognizing that like for me, having sex, when I first started having sex, it was more about the connection, just being that deeply connected with someone for the first time. It was not what I expected at all, because my only prior knowledge was from Pornhub or whatever other thing I found on the internet in the 4th grade. It can be a beautiful experience and not necessarily dirty, but it can also be dirty because that can be hot sometimes. But also like dirty doesn't have to have a bad connotation.
Yeah. It's just our conditioning. It's what we've been taught. Mm-hmm. And if you understand that, you know, once you get older, you realize you can start to question the things that you were taught as a kid.
Yes.
You should start to question it.
Yes.
Because you can find so much liberation in questioning those things. Yeah, I feel like it comes with maturity, because when you're younger, it is harder to get out of that mindset. But I feel like, being in a place where I've done a lot of maturing in the past few years, it's no longer a dirty thing. And so it'll come, especially if you have more positive sexual experiences. You'll start to realize
yes,
it's a wonderful thing.
And I love what you said about questioning the things you were taught, because I think that goes hand in hand with not viewing lesbian as a dirty word. Especially, we both grew up in the Catholic Church. We both grew up in, it was a conservative hometown, right?
Yeah.
Refusing to allow your conditioning to tell you everything that is true about the world, to question those truths, to come into your own, to find people and community who are positive about like their sexuality, being a lesbian. It's just taking yourself out of your bubble and doing the inner work and kind of like, and catching yourself.
What kind of protection should we use to women? So something that I always like to do when I have a new sexual partner is just go to a sexual health clinic or go to your doctor and just get them to run all the tests, all the STI tests. And get your partner to do the same thing. Because then you don't have to use, other things like, gloves or you don't
dental dams.
Dental dams. Like,
yeah,
people do use those, but someone also asked, how common is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, in my experience, it's not common.
Yeah, same.
That's why I like to say, just go, get a sexual health test.
Especially for like people with vaginas, it's not always just STDs. It could be a yeast infection or something like that. So I guess just like talking with your partner or your one night stand and just, being aware of what's going on.
Yep.
And just being open about it, because it's not embarrassing. These things happen. Like, you don't make fun of someone when they get a cold. That's a virus.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess there's the dirtiness of it, again, because of the Reagan administration and the lack of anything done with AIDS and HIV. And it's just kind of like trickled down. Sure, it's not fun having stuff on your genitals.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think you need to be embarrassed about it. I think you need to go get help.
Yeah.
Doctor,
yes, go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor.
And communicate openly before you engage in any sexual activity.
Ta-da!
It's the first time for both of us. How do we decide who tops and who bottoms?
Get drunk and see what happens.
I just answered everything.
No, I'm kidding. I feel like it's kind of a natural progression.
It is.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be like, okay, so you're going to be on top. I mean, if you want to have that conversation, have that conversation. If you're both two tops or you're both two bottoms, Lord save you if you're both two bottoms.
I feel like for the most part, this might just be my experience, but everyone just ends up being a switch at some point, like,
yeah, unless it's like dom and sub.
I don't know. I feel like there's just so much pressure on like, oh, I'm a top. And then I have to like forever be that label, or, I'm a bottom. This is what I have to do for the rest. No, I don't like that personally. And I see a lot
either.
I see a lot of that on TikTok being like, me as a top or like
yes
as a bottom. But it's like that kind of limits you in a way. Like it limits you to not explore and expand what you already know. And it's like, if you're a top, maybe that just means that you really enjoy being the dominant, but it doesn't mean you're always the top or the dominant.
It takes two to tango.
Or more.
Or more. You could have a whole conga line going on for all I care. But you're not always going to be in the front of the conga line.
No.
There needs to be a caboose. And there needs to be people in the middle.
Yes.
So take your turns and communicate about it.
I love that analogy so much. I'm a baby gay, so I don't have much experience. But when I think about WLW sex and orgasming, I wonder if when you orgasm, how do you know if you're going to pee or not? I'm just afraid that someday I'll have sex and I'll pee. So embarrassing.
This is such a good question because this was my biggest fear.
Was it?
Biggest fear. I literally went to the gynecologist about it. I've never told anyone this.
Wow.
But like, I went to the gynecologist about it because I was scared and I was like, I think I am peeing. Sometimes the sensation of peeing and squirting can be side by side.
And orgasming, like they're both a release.
It's a release.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess just like empty out your bladder before.
It happens sometimes.
It happens. It's the human body.
I think it's more common than people think or talk about, you know?
Yes, agreed. Put down a towel.
Yeah.
Or stop. Be like, wait, I'm gonna pee.
Yeah, just
be right back.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've done that before. I've been like,
Same.
hold on, I have to pee right now. Like,
yeah,
we cannot continue.
I mean, it's your bladder, and it's all right there next to each other. And when you orgasm, like your muscles are moving, so something might get squeezed in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And if it happens, not the end of the world. It's a common thing that happens.
Just make sure you wipe real good before you come back.
Or get a bidet.
Bidet.
I swear to God, I just bought a bidet attachment, and it is life-changing. For someone who's constantly like aware and self-conscious of like how I smell down there, or like are there poop particles still down there during sex, or like, oh my God, do I have like a piece of toilet paper, you know?
Yes.
Like,
that's the worst.
Yeah. Or like
when you're like in the mood and then all of a sudden it's like,
it's like, but it's so normal. Like
it is
fine if that happens. But the bidet has been life-changing. It's easy to install on your toilet. It installs on most toilets. And if you're in Europe, you know what I mean, because most of the toilets have bidets. But in North America, I don't know why we don't have them. They need to be normalized. I'm putting it out there. Bidets.
I agree.
Change your life.
Bidet ba-bangin'.
Bidet, my babe.
Bidet before you have sex with your babe.
Yeah. A lot of people ask this question, and I probably answered it in a video before, but do you think people should shave before oral? WLW relationship.
It's up to you. Like, it's such a personal preference.
It is.
Don't make it too difficult for your partner.
Yeah.
As long as you're hygienic.
Yeah.
I think you can choose what you want to do with your punani.
Yeah. That's the most important thing. It's like, you know, cleanliness over hair. Like, because if the hair is clean, why is it an
issue?
Yeah.
Just talk with your partner. Talk about what you're comfortable with. No one should tell you.
No, there's no
you
answer.
should do with your body. The American government.
Yeah, there's no answer across the board. We can't tell you that everyone is going to be the same way. And also, like, what do you feel comfortable with?
Yes.
Because, you know, a lot of people, like, their partner might not care if they're shaved, but like maybe you do. So like,
or
just,
you want to feel your most confident.
Yeah.
When you are having sex.
Yeah.
So do what you gotta do.
What you gotta do. Every time my girl wants to finger me, it hurts because I don't feel like I'm wet and I don't know what to do. I'm also afraid that she will think I'm not attracted to her.
Lube. Look, sometimes these things happen. Or if you want to have sex while one partner is on their period. If your partner gets mad at you for that, not a good partner.
Red flag.
I know it's scary because once again, there's this societal thing that's like, if you are not wet or you are not hard, like you are not attracted to the person you're next to. And that's fucking bullshit.
That's such
like,
a lie.
And it's just horrible because you don't have control over that. You don't flip a switch, be like, getting wet, ching, like, it's the porn industry again.
It is. No, it is. Some people get more wet than others. Like some people have more active glands, you know?
Yeah.
And some people don't. Like, and that's doesn't mean anything about your attraction. Like you can still be, and then like, there's just a lot of things you can do to help that scenario. Like,
yeah. Or maybe you need a little more foreplay.
Yeah, or maybe
before.
Yeah.
There are so many great lubes out there nowadays. So it should not be shameful. It's not shameful.
And also, don't concern yourself with how she feels about that because you can't control that.
Yes.
You can't control if she feels self-conscious or not, like in this regard, you can't control how she feels. So please take the pressure off of yourself.
You deserve to get to have that pleasure too. Hello, you are in pain.
Yeah, and you're not gonna have a good, enjoyable time if it's painful and it drops. You know?
And I'm sure your partner wants you to enjoy it. Not if your partner isn't doesn't know that they're hurting you. No bueno.
No, they're gonna want you to say something.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna end with this question. If you're a lesbian and you have sex with a girl and you're a virgin, is that considered losing your virginity?
Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. It's not for anyone to tell you. Kira, you made an amazing video about virginity already.
Yes.
It is subjective.
And yes, Georgia was in it. A bunch of other YouTubers were in it, and they give their opinions on what they think virginity is. I will link that below. Go check that out because that is a way more in-depth conversation about it. But at the end of the day, it's like what you want virginity to be. No one can tell you what it is. It's not, it doesn't have to be penis and vagina. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like,
no, it's not at all.
And it doesn't even have to be penetration either.
Yes.
Have you had your first sexual experience or not?
Yes. My grade school was St. Mary. So like growing up, all I fucking heard was the Virgin Mary, the Virgin Mother, gentle woman, quiet heart. She's so pure because she's a virgin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mary, no offense. You went through a lot. But like, if we go based on the notion that like you are a virgin unless you are cisgendered with a penis and a vagina, like what does that do to the entire LGBTQ community? What is that like?
Do we not exist?
I guess not. I am the next Virgin Mary because I've never had sex with a man. So looks like when I become pregnant, I will be giving birth to the next coming of Jesus. It's that indoctrination of the Catholic Church and a lot of religion. That's not to say it's a bad thing.
Yeah, if that doesn't vibe with you, question what you've been taught. You know what? Question what you've been taught regardless, and then decide if your belief that you were taught growing up aligns with you.
Yeah, and it might align.
Still.
Yeah.
That's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that is it.
That's a good one.
That was so fun. I loved that so much. We need to have more of these conversations.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming back on my channel. I missed you. I missed making videos.
I miss you. I know. I got to get my ass to Canada soon.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Please go check out Georgia and everything Georgia is doing. All the links are in the description. I love you, Georgia. And
love you.
I will see you in my next video.